Hi, I'm Zach, a level narrative designer who's a part of Team Wiretap. Our group has been debating the possibility of using an alt controller since the very start, so I tried to find an approach that would work for our project in terms of integrating one. Many of the concerns raised pertain to the time required to assemble and design such a controller versus how beneficial it would be to the project, with its potential to enhance gameplay, increase success, and improve the overall experience of the game. With that, I decided to propose the question: how might I integrate an alt controller in a meaningful way that makes it an involved and engaging component of the gameplay? I started by researching the development of several alt controller success stories I was already familiar with, such as the previous game design capstone game, Disco is Dead. For Disco is Dead, it ended up being an invaluable resource thanks to its devlog, as in it listed how they faced many of the same constraints and design challenges that our team was facing. Specifically, they proved a solution to one of our most discussed concerns: controller mapping. Our team worried that limiting ourselves to using an unconventional controller would limit our ability to release the game on platforms such as itch.io or Steam. Third Floor Games were also concerned about this, so they decided to map multiple possible input styles for the project, including the alt controller, keyboard, and an Xbox controller setup. Accounting for each of the different possible methods gave them a way to account for both what their game needed and also alternative options if the intended way to play wasn't available. Another important aspect of using an alt controller concept is examining how it can enhance a game's experience beyond that of a standard controller. After deciding on a design method that works for us, we need to assess whether it's suitable for the game project. Based on reactions to several popular games, I believe we can get our answer. Dance Dance Revolution is one of, if not the most popular rhythm game of all time. A significant contributing factor to this is its unique control scheme, which utilizes a dance pad that you tap with your feet to simulate dancing movements. This has been a huge selling point compared to its competitors in the same genre, with DDR often being seen as both immersive in nature and a source of staying active while playing games. The player's ability to connect the experience of physical activity to dancing through hitting floor pads is effective, as it simulates how one would feel dancing even if the movements performed are very different in nature. Considering DDR is still alive and kicking today, even after the deaths of arcades, it shows the value of creating a unique experience like this one that audience will go out of their way for if they think it's worth it for them. Another point in favor of alt controllers is their ability to open up accessibility for more than the generally appealed to gaming audience. Games have long faced challenges for the disabled community, with many barriers to entry due to most games requiring a specific type of controller. Several attempts have been made to rectify this issue in recent times, with one of the most successful being the Xbox Adaptive Controller. It provides a reliable controller where inputs can be customized and spread out to meet a user's needs by plugging different inputs into a large control pad. With this, buttons can be placed where the users need to control a game. Upon its release, it received positive press and reviews in both the consumer market and internally within the studios. To answer my initial question based on the examples I found, I believe there are numerous ways to make all controllers engaging, and it's a sound idea to integrate them into the project. Having an alt controller would help differentiate our game, and if used correctly, could be used to immerse players more deeply into our experience by creating similar experience to what we're trying to replicate. Alternative controllers can also open up possibilities for a new audience to be able to experience our game comfortably, and for fears regarding whether or not we can release it on other platforms, by putting in the extra input mapping, we can achieve a satisfying result that's worth the extra effort. I think an alt controller that simulates a switchboard through a series of buttons that can be pressed down by magnets that are connected through a string could be a way to simulate the experience of being a switchboard operator in an accessible way that simulates the involvement we want to create. Unfortunately, our group has decided not to go through with an alt controller, the main reason cited being that our team feels it would take a lot of time to create a peripheral that wouldn't be needed to facilitate the experience we're creating, which is fair, as most alt controllers are most successful when they're required, and the experience would feel empty without it. I think the possibility of an alt controller is really enticing prospect for me, and even though my group for Capstone isn't going through with it, is a topic I'd like to carry on to other projects with what I've learned here. Thank you so much for listening.